This is a quick and easy project. It's a great way to just add a little something to your kitchen. Anyone that loves to cook, loves to be in the kitchen, this could be a great thing to make them. So let's talk about what you need. You need a kitchen towel, any kind that you want, a piece of fabric that is going to be 5.5 inches tall by, I'm going to show you how to measure your towel to decide how wide it needs to be. I cut this to 17 inches. I know it's going to be plenty big for this towel, but I'm going to show you how to determine exactly how wide you need it for whichever towel you pick. So this is going to be the decorative piece on the towel. Then I decided to use the same material for the hanger, and this is 5 inches wide by 8 inches high. If you're using non-directional or solid, it doesn't matter if you cut it this way or this way, but for directional fabric like this, because I don't want the trees going sideways when this is hanging, you want to make sure up and down is in that direction. This is a 2 3/4 inch wood ring because I had it. If I were buying them specifically for this project, I would probably go with a 4-inch ring. With this size, when you fold the towel in thirds and put it through, it's pretty tight. So it's great if you want your towel to stay wherever you're having it hang. If you're going to want to put it in and out, it's going to be a little more difficult. So I would go with the bigger ring. Then we need a way to attach this piece that we're going to sew to hook the hanger over your oven handle or your dishwasher handle. So you can either use hook and loop tape. The most popular brand is a Velcro, but the name of the product is actually hook and loop because that's what these are. Or you can use snaps, either the plastic cam snaps like these or metal snaps. I'm going to be showing you how to do it with hook and loop, but I will also put a link to a video for how to use these plastic cam snaps. Then some things that I use that you don't have to have, but they make things a little simpler. This is a turning tool. It's going to help me get the points out when we sew and turn that right side out. Hot ruler is going to be really helpful because we are going to be folding and pressing all 4 sides of this piece of fabric under. And so using a hot ruler makes it a lot easier to get a consistent and straight fold, especially when you're doing the longer pieces. But again, you don't have to have it. It's just one of those things that now that I have it, I find more and more uses for it. Also going to be using a clapper, put that on the fabric right after we press it. It absorbs some of the heat and it really makes that fold nice and tight. And rotary cutter, rulers, etc. Probably the most important thing to do for this project is pre-wash. Pre-wash your towels, pre-wash your fabric. Because in general, a towel and fabric are going to shrink at different rates. So if you were to sew these together before you pre-washed anything, it could look great, but then your fabric might shrink more than your towel, and then it's going to get puckery and it's not going to look good. And we all know that unless this is purely decorative, it's going to get washed. So just like baby things, bibs and burp cloths and things like that with the towels, I always recommend pre-washing for the same reason. Now I'm just going to work from this piece of fabric, which happens to be 17 inches, but let me grab a tape measure and show you how to calculate the width that you need based on any kind of towel that you might want to use. Because I know we all have different preferences. So what you're going to do is you're going to pre-wash, you're going to iron your towel. You want it nice and flat. And sometimes like sections like this kind of pull in a little bit more than the terry part. And so I just pull it. We want this to be as squared as possible before sewing our decorative fabric on there. I just happen to have this one in my stash and I thought the red will look cute with these cardinals, but if I was going out and buying the towels specifically for this, I would probably get plain ones that didn't have any kind of stripe and just let the fabric do the talking. I'm going to take my tape measure and I'm just going to measure across. You can also use your ruler. Here, just line it up on your mat. And this one is 15 7/8 inch wide. The other samples that I did were the same brand towel. This is just a kitchen terry towel I got at Walmart, and the towels were not quite 15.5. So that's over a 1/4 inch difference. That is why you always want to cut this a little bit big, and you want to measure before you cut this. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to turn this wrong side up, and we are going to press 1/2 inch down. When I did my first test, I did a 1/4 inch, but I found it a little bit harder when I was getting these longer sides folded. So I found Doing a 1/2 inch fold on the short ends makes it all easier to work with. Now, if you haven't worked with a hot ruler before, it is flexible and it's kind of fuzzy because it will kind of grip the fabric and hold it in place. And you can iron on it, hence the name, hot ruler. You do not want to put your iron directly on any kind of acrylic or plastic ruler, but that is the beauty of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line up one of the 1-inch lines, like just make sure these lines are straight with the fabric. That is how you're going to know that you have it lined up. You know, you're not going to be doing a crooked curve. So you're always looking at these and then just kind of eyeball it. Maybe that's a 1/2 inch. Then we fold that over and we discover that is nowhere near a 1/2 inch. So I'm just going to scooch my ruler down a little bit more so that when I fold that fabric, it hits that 1/2 inch line. I'm going to take the iron and I'm just going to go right over it. And I'm pushing from the outside towards the ruler because that helps it fold. I'm going to take my clapper and I'm going to put that down. Now, I do always press this at least twice when I use a hot ruler because it does have a little bit of thickness to it. And you can see it doesn't make the tightest crease because it had the ruler in it. So you can either leave it this way and press it again or turn it over. For short things like this, I just leave it the way it is. Just give it one more press and one more section with the clapper. So we have side number 1 done. Now is when we grab our towel. We get that nice and flat. And I'm going to decide where I want it in comparison to these lines down here. Try and get those nice and straight. And I'm going to line this folded edge up with the edge of the towel. Now, if you wanted to, you could have it fold over the towel, like fold this twice and have it fold over the towel. I just decided I didn't feel like having it show a little bit on the back. I'm just going to do it as close to perfect as possible on the front. So this is lined up, and now we're going to use the other side to determine exactly how it needs to fold on this side. So I'm just going to fold that under and have it line up with the towel. It might not be perfectly straight because the towel might not be perfectly straight, but we are just going to make this fit, like a custom fit for this specific towel. And I'm going to iron that. So now we have it the perfect width. We can move our towel. And now I'm going to use the hot ruler and I'm going to press each of the long edges a 1/4 inch. I do have the longer hot ruler. It is 14 inches. I believe they come in 10 inches maybe and 14 inches. If your budget allows, always get the 14 inch because it works for smaller things and it makes bigger projects like this a little bit easier than using a shorter one. So even though it's still not quite long enough, I press as far as I can and then I move it down. I line this up with where it's already creased, and then I can still use that line to make sure I get this at that 1/4 inch. So it's going to be nice and straight. It's a lot harder to, especially for a long section, press that down. So I have found the trick is just turn it back over because we want to get a good, nice crease in there. Make sure it is down the way it was pressed, and then press it again from the right side. So 4 of our edges are done. Now we just have one more. And our next step is to pin our fabric onto our towel. Yes, I said pin. I know I'm a huge fan of clips, but this is one of those projects that is going to require some pins. We can clip the sides if we want, but over here, we're gonna have to pin. To do that, where it's right up against the red. I'm gonna try that. I haven't done that before. I've usually left a little bit of space, so we'll just try this to be different. So I'm gonna get that first corner set. This lined up with the edge, and this lined up with the red. I'm just going to pin that in place, making sure everything's folded under. If there's any threads, either cut them or shove them under. We don't want them sticking out. And then when we go to the sewing machine, you want to use a top thread that blends with your fabric. I don't have this kind of smoky blue, so I'm going to use gray. It's going to blend much better than you might think if you haven't played with gray very well. It's kind of a good default. White shows up much brighter than a gray does. And even though we have some white snowflakes, I don't want a square of white stitches really jumping out for this project. So I'm going to go with gray. And then I will use white for a bobbin thread so that it'll just disappear into the back of the towel. If we did this all correctly, this is lined up. It looks great, perfectly with this edge. So far, so good. This could be a great first project. Like if you're teaching, maybe you're teaching kids or grandkids to sew, this could be a great project for them to make for a teacher or a mom or an aunt or someone else, because it is all straight stitching. It's a pretty quick project, teaches them some skills, ironing, pinning, adding hook and loop. I've had a couple people lately commenting in my Etsy shop and on YouTube that they're using some of the projects to teach kids to sew, and I absolutely love that. If you're watching from home and you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, just take a picture of that little QR code, and then you'll just be able to confirm on your phone, and you will never miss a tutorial. All right, so that is all ready. And so we're going to go to the sewing machine and just sew really close to the edge all the way around, and that's it. This towel will be done. But before we head to the sewing machine, let's get the hook part ready to go too. This is super easy. We're going to fold it in half, matching the long edges. I'm just going to finger press that. And we're going to sew across one short end and down the other side. Leave one end open for turning. Okay, so now we can get both of these sewn at the same time. Because I'm going to see the stitching on both sides of this project, I'm going to pull up the bobbin thread. And that is to avoid nasty knots like this called bird's nests. This is basically what happens when occasionally a sewing machine, when you get started, will suck down the top thread and create a mess. We want it to look nice and finished like this on both sides. And the trick for doing that, if your sewing machine likes to do this, is to pull up your bobbin thread. I don't start right on the edge. I start like maybe an inch or two in, because that gives the feed dogs the ability to work on the whole surface. So I'll come and end there as well. So if you have never pulled up your bobbin thread before, here's what you're going to do. You're going to hold the top thread, put your foot down, put your needle down, keep holding that thread, lift your needle, and give a little tug. And the bobbin thread came right up. I keep tweezers by my sewing machine. I'm going to pull that up. Then I'll have both of them in one hand. I use my tweezers to push them down so that I can get both threads under the presser foot, and I'm holding them taut. I'm not pulling them like so that they'll come out, but I'm holding them so that they can't get pulled under. Then I'm going to take 2 to 3 stitches forward and then 2 to 3 stitches back to knot them. So now if I let go of these, they're not going to get pulled under, and we are going to have a beautiful result on the other side. Now I'm going to sew all the way around the 4 sides really close to the edge just to secure this fabric onto the towel. This fabric is from my new Covered Bridges in Winter collection that came out in July of 2026, depending on when you're watching this video. I think it'll just be fun holiday/winter design that will last a little bit longer than just a traditional Christmas print. Now the fabric is on the towel, and that is all done. So let's get started on the fabric loop for the wood ring holder. Because we're going to be sewing on the inside, we can either just risk it and have some of those little knots, or we can use a leader fabric. So a leader fabric is just a scrap of fabric, and you start sewing on that. So if you get any knots, it's going to be on this scrap fabric and not on your project. Then when you get onto your project, make sure you go forward and back a few stitches just to secure those seams. I'm going to sew this with a 1/4 inch seam as well. Now that we have sewn the 2 sides, we're just going to clip these corners. I don't clip at a 45-degree angle. I like to clip twice so that I'm taking a little bit more fabric off on the seam. That's less that needs to get folded into that point and will give you a better point. I'm also going to do the same thing at the seam where the fold is, making sure not to cut any of that stitching. Once that's clipped, we're going to turn this right side out. I'm going to grab my turning tool. You can also use a chopstick, whatever you have. You want to work very carefully when you're pushing into that corner, because when we clip that corner, we got pretty close to the stitching. So if you go really hard and forceful, you could end up seeing your turning tool come out by splitting those stitches, which is always a bummer. Now we just need to push so that this seam is on the edge. We don't want any of the fabric folded in. We're just trying to make a nice rectangle. You just kind of manipulate that with your fingers. You got really nice corners, and we're going to press down that folded side as well. Now, because it's warm, I'm just going to hit it with the clapper. It'll set those creases even better, and it will just cool that fabric off so it's easier to touch. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to fold these raw edges under by 1/4 inch and press. When you have sewn and you have this 1/4 inch seam here, and then if you just fold it under, sometimes it gets a little bulky and it makes a weird edge. You can't get as nice of a corner. So what I have found works really nicely is to just take a second and press that seam open just at the very top. You need like 1/2 inch of it pressed open, which we can do with this little iron in this skinny little thing. And now when we fold that down, it's not going to be as bulky, and you're going to get a flatter finish, especially on that corner. So that is just a little trick. Takes 2 extra seconds, but to me, it's worth it for the results. Now, when we have those lined up and we're happy with them, press, press, and we're good to go. Now, if you're going to use snaps, you would come and you would sew this edge closed, and then you would add the snaps. We're not going to be adding snaps in this video, but there will be a link in the description to get you to a video that shows you how to install snaps if you want to do that. And if you want to do that, you're just going to install them so that it snaps together and creates this loop. We are going to be using our hook and loop tape. The hook part is like the scratchy hooks, and the loop is the fuzzy soft side. So first I'm going to look and I'm going to decide which side I want to be the outside. And I want this side to be the outside because it's got more trees, more snowflakes, got more going on. It's more interesting than that side. And the reason I want to know that is because I want to know which side to put the loop on. I always put the loop on the opposite side of the side that I want to be the good side. Because when we fold this, the hook is going to be here, and then it'll go like that and hang nicely. So when you're doing that, you're just going to position that right at the edge so that when we sew on the edge of the loop tape, it's also going to be sewing that opening closed. It's a 2-for-1. And for that, I am going to use a clip. It's just faster and easier. So let's head back to the sewing machine. We're going to be putting the loops on this side and then the hooks on the opposite end of the opposite side of the fabric. So that then when they're attached, it goes like that, it makes the circle. Just like when we sewed the fabric onto the towel, you're going to see both the top and the bobbin thread. So I'm going to pull up the bobbin thread and sew. And I made my hook and loop tape pretty much the perfect length to sew this closed. If I had made it a little bit smaller, I would have sewn beyond it to make sure I've closed this whole opening and then come back to go all the way around. But I don't need to because of how long this piece is. Now the loop is on the one side, and now we're going to turn it over. Loop is here. We're going to put the hook on this side. Remember, opposite sides of the fabric, opposite ends of this rectangle. We're going to pull up the bobbin thread and just sew that on in the same way. Now we have our decorated towel, our wooden ring, and our loop. So all you do is you put the loop through the ring, and then we're going to take it down to the oven or the dishwasher. Both of those handles work. Put it around and attach that Velcro. And then this will hang like this. Take your towel, fold it in thirds, and then you're just going to thread the back through the wooden ring until it's in half or the front's a little bit longer than the back. And you have a decorative and always handy towel. So cute. Let me know in the comments who you might make one of these for. Are you going to make some for yourself? Will you make them seasonal? Will you have these to sew and sell? They sew up so quickly, and if you were to just batch produce these, you could make so many in an afternoon. So it would be a great gift to give to lots of people, get it done, and just do something a little bit unique.